Hello, my name is Tim Hogue, and the topic I chose to cover is immigration. Why is immigration still an issue in America, and how can we conveniently keep our borders safe and still allow people to immigrate effectively? I'd like to take a closer look at a few issues common in our society today. First, let's start off with some statistics. Overall, 49% of people in the country are hoping for the government to address immigration laws in 2019, compared to 27% in the beginning of 2018. However, two-thirds of these people expect nothing to be done this year on the issue. Another fact is 76% of immigrants in the country are here legally, despite what the media wants you to believe. The majority of immigrants in the country came in through a regulated border of some kind, and many illegal immigrants did the same. They just simply overstayed their visas. Another quick statistic about the matter is the majority of Americans do not support a wall along the southern border. Approximately 58% of people oppose the wall entirely, whilst another 40% of people support building the wall. 8 out of 10 Republicans support the expansion of the wall, while 9 out of 10 Democrats oppose it. More than half of the illegal immigrants have been living in America for more than 1 decade. Let's change our focus to some laws regarding the rules of immigration and what different presidents have done regarding immigration. As a matter of fact, the last time legislators came close to a significant immigration reform was in 2013, when the Democrat-led Senate passed a comprehensive reform bill that would have provided a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants and tough border security provisions. The bill did not receive a vote in the Republican-controlled House of Representatives. Focusing in on some actions by President Obama. President Obama took several actions to provide temporary legal relief to many undocumented immigrants. In 2012, his administration began a program known as DACA that offered renewable, 2-year deportation deferrals and work permits to undocumented immigrants who had arrived to the United States as children and had no criminal records. Donald Trump, however, has signed several executive orders affecting immigration policy, the first of which focused on border security, instructing federal agencies to construct a physical wall to obtain complete operational control of the U.S. border with Mexico. Additionally, it called for an end to so-called catch-and-release practices, where certain unauthorized immigrants who were captured at the border would be released into the United States while they await court hearings. It also expanded the application of expedited removal to include any unauthorized immigrant who cannot prove they have been in the United States for 2 years, allowing them to be removed without a court hearing. The second executive order, which focused on interior enforcement, expanded the categories of unauthorized immigrants, prioritized for removal, and ordered increases in enforcement personnel and removal facilities. It also moved to restrict federal funds from so-called sanctuary jurisdictions, which in some cases limit their cooperation with federal immigration officials. The third order, which focused on terrorism prevention, banned nationals from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen from entering the United States for at least 90 days, blocked nationals from Syria indefinitely, and suspended the U.S. refugee program for 120 days. Let's shift our focus now to the wall. As stated by Will Hurd, a Republican whose district is the longest along the border of Mexico, I think building a concrete structure sea to shining sea is the most expensive and least effective way to do border security. Instead, he argues for a smart wall. A smart wall would use sensor, radar, and surveillance technologies to detect and track incursions across our border so we can deploy efficiently our most important resource, the men and women of border control, to perform the most difficult task, interdiction, as stated by Hurd. Vicente Gonzalez, a Texas Democrat, also opposes adding to the existing border wall because he does not think it brings real border security and it comes at a major cost to taxpayers. Another Democrat, Henry Cuellar, thinks that we should spend the money modernizing the ports of entry rather than spend money on a wall that will barely delay immigrants any time at all. That is in other states, though. How does this affect us here in California? California is what is known as a sanctuary state, which means that there are certain barriers in place by state and city governments to stop federal government from, say, deporting immigrants. Recently, California has passed a bill limiting the amount of cooperation that federal agents will receive from the state of California. While other states have passed laws that shore up protections for immigrants, the California bill, known as SB 54, has been described as the most comprehensive in the country. Measures range from treating schools, courthouses, and hospitals as safe zones to restricting the ability of local police to detain people on behalf of federal immigration agents. The law does nothing to curtail the ability of federal agents to come into the state and deport people or carry out raids, but it does make such actions more difficult for agencies with limited resources. Immigration in our country is nowhere close to being resolved. And so I ask you, how can we make immigration convenient and keep our borders secure and also allow people to immigrate effectively?